Good afternoon and welcome to this episode of live podcast from eClinicalWorks National Users Conference here in Orlando. And I have here with us Heather Boone from Orlando Heart Vascular. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, Heather, can you start off by speaking to us a little bit about yourself, your role, and about a little bit about your practice?
Sure. My name is Heather Boone, and I have been with Orlando Heart Vascular since 2004, so going on 22 years now. We're a small, privately owned practice, so we have maintained our individuality and our own control over our practice. We have 6 providers, 3 doctors, 3 mid-levels, and we see about 120 to 140 patients a day.
Oh, wow. Well, I did forget to mention what this episode was about. It is about revenue cycle management services offered by eClinicalWorks. So, which brings me to my next question. You moved from EMD to
Correct.
eClinicalWorks.
Yes.
What made you make that switch from EMD to eClinicalWorks?
We had been looking into other EMR systems that were more advanced, had more technology, more features that would help us be more productive, more efficient in seeing our patients. And every time we searched, eCW just always hit the marks. It had the best stars, the best reviews. We had colleagues that had eClinicals that were like, hey, you should really switch to this EMR system. So that's what made us take the jump after almost 20 years of being with our previous EMR. So it was a big undertaking.
Wow.
It was definitely not for the faint of heart, but it was worth it in the end for sure. Night and day, the difference between EMDs and eClinicals, you can't even compare it. If you look at EMDs, it looks like kindergarten. When you go to eClinicals, it's like calculus. But the features and everything, it just blew us away, what we could do. And it actually did make us very much more efficient in our day-to-day.
Interesting. Calculus was not my favorite subject in school.
Not mine either.
But,
That's mine.
but
No.
eClinicalWorks is definitely a better product.
Hands
Glad
down,
you made
yeah.
the switch and you've stayed on with us.
Yeah.
Now, the most important question, of course, I want to ask you is, when you went live with eClinicalWorks, you also went live with eClinicalWorks Revenue Cycle Management Services. What motivated you to go with our billing and revenue cycle services?
Well, we knew as a small practice, we didn't have a big backer. We had no hospital covering us to rescue us if we got into trouble. So we knew having someone on board that could take control of our billing, let us see quicker mistakes we were making and how to be more efficient, get that turnaround, get our AR in faster. That made a big role in making the decision, plus the reviews. I mean, the reviews hands down on eClinicals were just great. This morning in the keynote, he wasn't joking when he said, it's almost a 5-star. It should be 5-star across the board, because in switching over, it immediately made a difference in our profit.
That's wonderful. Now, of course, everything, it's a bottom line, right? And revenue is the biggest question here. Now, how did you see, tell us a little bit about how eClinicalWorks Revenue Cycle Management Services helped you increase your revenue, and if there was any different adoption that you had to, take over, so you can use these services easily.
Sure. So within the first 90 days, we saw fairly quickly that our revenue back was within 20 to 21 days. That was huge compared to previous. And we had the RCM service with EMDs as well. So we were kind of expecting a fair change off, but we didn't get that. We got much better in switching over to eClinicals. Within 21 days, on average, we get payments in. Our 97% pass rate, I mean, it was just amazing. Our profits increased 30%. So that helped us as a small practice. And like you said, money talks, 100%, especially if you're wanting to remain independent. Hospitals are buying up all these doctors' offices left and right.
Yep.
We want to remain independent, to have control over our patient care. Once big corporations get in, you lose that. So our physician, Dr. Ranadeve, who owns the practice, it was very important that we remain independent. And financial Everything ties into that.
Right.
We wanted to bring in more staff. We wanted to expand. And within 6 months of having eClinicals, we were able to get a CT machine. We now have that operational as of 2 weeks ago. We would not have been able to do that last year. And in such a quick amount of time and moving to eClinicals, seeing that revenue come in, to be able to offer that now to our patients on site, changed the game for us. Now we're planning another project for our PET CT machine because the RCM team is amazing. What you guys give to us as far as feedback, because we make mistakes, but the team in eClinicals is amazing. I mean, they really catch things and tell us, hey, do this better, makes us more efficient. They're on it, like quite on rice. So it's a game changer for us for sure.
That's wonderful to hear. Definitely proud of the team we have and the work they do. Now, I know there are many in the audience probably want to hear this from you and are probably on the fence, thinking whether or not to go with the eClinicalWorks RCM services. And I hear this personally from some of my own clients is a struggle to recover the revenue, the long aging AR days and, hounding the patients, for payments and all that headache and claim submission, claim scrubbing, all that stuff. What would your words of wisdom be to those that's on the fence about this?
Get off the fence. Do it, especially if you're a small practice and you want to remain viable. You want to be able to stay open. You don't want to sell. I mean, I don't think any small practice or business would want to give their practice up to a bigger corporation. I would say do it because the tools that eClinicals gives you is not just here, this is what we're doing, we're leaving you alone.
Right.
The feedback, the tools that they give you to be better, to help your providers, help the front end. It's not just in billing department. They tell you how your front desk can be more efficient to get it right at check-in. The payments, we have always had petty cash on hand. Now we hardly have any petty cash because patients are actually paying before they come in. That's one of the harder things to get. Oh, I don't have my cash. I don't have my. Now it's all electronic through the healow app. They're paying. We're getting balances due. I mean, I can't say I could go on and on. I probably could sit here for 30 more minutes and tell you the benefits of going with the RCM service. We meet biweekly with our team. Jennifer Blevins-Smith is actually speaking here today. She meets with us every 2 weeks, and she gives us pointers, tells us what we're doing good, tells us what we can improve on site. And it's real time. They're always available if we need them immediately. She gets on a call with us. So we have a couple girls on site that scrub, but having that connection to the billing with eClinicals, that their goal is to make you succeed, and they do everything and anything they can to make sure that you do. And I will never, ever, ever regret the process in switching EMRs, because that was definitely stressful, but I would do it again knowing the outcome that we experienced with eClinicals and just the team that's on board. It's amazing. And seeing all of the features coming out, it's going to get even better because AI is amazing and it's just going to only get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said, Heather. Thank you for joining us here.
Thanks for asking for me to
And
join.
for all those of you that's on the fence about whether or not to use eClinicalWorks Revenue Cycle Management Services, get off that fence. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.